guys, welcome back to United Rock Nations. Today we're still at Hellfest with Sami from ENSIFERUM.
Bonjour, ça va?
So, how are you doing?
Fantastic. It's third day being in the area so far, and good bands, fantastic atmosphere, good wine, good food. Life's good.
Excellent. So let's start with our weekly session of Stitch With. So Sami, what is the first album you bought?
First album. I'm so old. Back in the Middle Ages when I was a kid, there was C cassettes. Google it. I think it was Hanoi Rocks, Finnish rock and roll band. That was a C cassette. But from vinyls, it had to be Iron Maiden because then I used all my money. Then I got all the Iron Maiden albums. So yeah.
Do they have a special place in your heart?
Yes, they do, and especially the live album, Live After Death. That's something I really love it, and that was on VHS. Google it before YouTube. I had it on VHS, and I watched it every day after school just to practice my playing with the right hand, like Steve Harris does. And I still remember all his licks. So it's yeah.
So, which album made you want to write music? You know, the kind of album that made you think, wow, this is what I want to do with my life.
Okay, I'm really gonna break the illusion here. When I got my first bass when I was 11, and my other big brother, he was already a really good guitar player, and I just wanted to jam with him, and he teach me. The first song was Black Sabbath, Iron Man. Then there was Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb, and Stairway to Heaven, and stuff like that, and there were not that many bass players in the area where I come from. Well, I don't think nobody wants to be a bass player. Everybody wants to be a guitar player. And but it was a good thing because then many bands needed a bass player. So when I was like a teenager, I might have like 7 rehearsals every week with different bands. And when we had like a band competition in the youth house, there might be 7 bands and I play in 5 of them. Because there were no bass players. But that was a good thing because then I really got to play with different people, totally different styles. And that was always the thing in music for me. There was never like I didn't have this passion that I want to be a musician. And for me it was hanging around with great people and of course writing own songs, but just doing like 2-3 gigs every year in youth houses or small pubs or whatever. And but of course, there were many albums that really had a big impact on me. Like, all the old Iron Maiden and old Metallica stuff, but also Red Hot Chili Peppers, the old stuff. And when I got into metal, I would say that was Dark Tranquillity and Old Amorphis, and that really made me understand. I was actually playing in a death metal band without listening to any death metal because the guys were kind of the best musicians in the area. They were a little bit older than me, and they were really fast and technical stuff. And it was like, and they needed a bass player. They asked me. I was like, oh, of course, but I had no idea. And the singer started doing growling vocals. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And well, like, okay, whatever rocks your boat, and But I slowly got into it, and really slowly. But then there was I would say, Sky Dancer from Dark Tranquillity. Actually, the singer, Petri, thank you, gave me the CD and the gallery and so on. And that's where it started. I really understood, oh, for fuck's sake, this is good. You can have the melodic side, not just like something chaotic. And that's where it started. And then I met Markus, the founder of ENSIFERUM, and we found that there are a lot of bands that we like. Well, we just mentioned Iron Maiden, Dark Tranquillity, and Amorphis, for example, and AC/DC and a lot of other stuff, not just the metal side. And a couple months later, he calls me, hey, we need a bass player. You want to give it a shot? Yeah. Okay, I didn't answer your question because I really cannot name an album. But there was my life story.
So, which album have you listened to 1,000 times?
1,000 times. At least. Oh my God. Seventh Son of the Seventh Son from Iron Maiden. Yes.
What do you think about the first 2 albums?
Good. Yes, I really love. Yes, I really do. And yeah, I even went to see Paul Diana when he was playing in Helsinki. I really, it was like a nice nostalgia trip because it was like a small pub, and yeah, it was cool to hear him doing it. Of course, I adore when Bruce does those, but yeah, there's no competition in my mind because.
Sure, it's two different things.
Yes.
Right. Now, which album that you wrote actually do you think defines best your personality yourself?
Oh my god. I don't know. It's so chaotic. I mean, everybody has so many sides. So this is like there's no album that would have this kind of diversity, and it depends on the mood because. One of the albums I love a lot, even though that's the album actually is from a band called Sigur Rós, and they have an album with name is just these, and it's fucking fantastic. And I don't know that much about their other stuff because after hearing that album, everything else their material sounds to me like, oh, they already did that so well in this album. But anyway, that would be the softer side of me, but. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm so sorry. No. See, I told you. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's move on quickly. Now, what about ENSIFERUM? What's the album that defines ENSIFERUM best?
I would say, well, at the moment, of course, it's Two Paths, but. Well, for some reason, the first idea was victory songs because it has this heroic aspect much more strongly. So if a person would want to get into ENSIFERUM, I would say there's the last album. Then I would also give victory songs and say start with that.
What about the artwork? Which one fits ENSIFERUM best?
Artwork of the albums?
Yeah.
Definitely the Two Paths.
Yeah.
The last one. Yeah. It's fucking fantastic.
So, also, have you got any regrets or things that you would have done differently concerning the previous albums or even this one? Two Paths.
Not really, because I think it's that's an endless process. If you really start to go back to the beginning all the time, and I think this is just. The way I see it, you have songs, record them, and go forward. And if you feel like, oh shit, I could have done that better way, those were not the last songs you're gonna write and record. So use that knowledge in the next song. So, well, one thing that always bothers me is on From Afar album that we had like 1,000 tracks in some parts, and that's crazy because you lose all the beautiful details of orchestrations and also the guitars and. But that's live and learn. That was the first time we used orchestrations, so we really didn't understand the spectrum that they can feel the whole everything that you hear, and then you add drums and guitars and 100 layers of choir and so that I might change if I could go back in time, but otherwise nah. It's better to look forward and of course to learn from the past, but. Yeah.
One last question.
Yes.
Which album would you love to have written?
Nightwish Ones.
Really?
Yeah. I really love Nightwish. It's a fucking fantastic album.
Well, thank you very much, Sami.
Thank
That was
you.
very cool.
My
talking
pleasure.
With you.
Howdy ho, folks. This is Sami from ENSIFERUM, and you are listening to United Rock Nations. Stay fucking tuned!